Good evening. You're watching the news on Croatian television. Slovenia has begun unilaterally implementing the arbitration ruling at the maritime border with Croatia. Croatian fishermen sailed to fishing grounds near the existing border this morning, with each boat accompanied by a police escort. A Slovene patrol boat arrived, at which point the Croatian and Slovene police exchanged warnings that they had entered their waters. For the first time, a Slovenian inspector was on hand. No fines were issued, however, they could arrive by mail.
It's possible that I'll get a fine via mail as I have received in the past, but nothing will come of that. I received a €1,000 fine 4 years ago, and for 1 year I couldn't enter Slovenia until I discovered that the fine hadn't been registered anywhere. Many of us here have received this fine, but we never paid. As far as we know, and from what fishermen told us, there weren't any fines issued. There was nothing out of the ordinary. It was business as usual these past couple of days.
The Croatian Ministry of Foreign and European Affairs reminded today that the proposed protocol, prepared by Croatia and presented to Slovenia, remains the only constructive and relevant proposed legal framework for continued dialogue on resolving the border issue.
The second note is a protest note with which the Slovenian side objects to the responsible bodies of the Republic of Croatia exercising authority since January 2017. Therefore, before the arbitration decision was passed, which naturally Croatia does not agree with, but which in itself represents a valuable proof of Croatia exercising authority in those areas. So every attempt to take over that area would without a doubt represent a harsh violation of international law by the Slovenian side.
The Center for Peace Studies in Zagreb has criticized Interior Minister Davor Božinović for his statement that the first condition for granting asylum to migrants is legal entry into the country. Minister Božinović responded that while this is not the only criteria taken into consideration, it remains a fact that all those who have been granted asylum in Croatia were legally residing in the country to begin with.
Experience so far has shown that illegal migrants have, for the most part, abused the institution of asylum, meaning that it is not their goal to obtain that kind of protection. Monitoring that is being conducted has confirmed that in many cases, these are not people facing political or other forms of persecution, nor are their human rights being infringed upon, which is the basis for approving international protection, but instead they are first and foremost economic migrants.
According to the latest information from the FINA Financial Agency, more than 25,000 businesses had blocked accounts at the end of November, with more than 14 billion kuna in unpaid claims. More than 322,000 citizens had blocked accounts. This number is down when compared to November of last year. However, their total debt is up by more than 1.7 billion kuna. Prime Minister Andrej Plenković issued his New Year greeting today, wishing citizens a productive 2018. He said that Croatia had successfully navigated the difficulties it faced this year and would continue to work towards a better future in the next.
Next year, we will further develop the framework for production, doing business, legal security, competitiveness, investment, exports, education, innovation, and creating new jobs in dialogue with unions and employers. The structural reforms that lay ahead of us will strengthen our position as a responsible member of the European Union that wants to join Schengen and the Eurozone. In that effort, I expect your support so that we can build a prosperous and modern Croatia together.
Speaking in Slavonski Brod, Finance Minister Zdravko Marić outlined his ministry's goals in 2018.
A growth rate of 3% is good following a long period of recession, but it is definitely not something we should be content with and feel like we've achieved all of our goals. We have to continue to work on the economy. We cannot be content with the level of unemployment and investment.
A traditional New Year's swim was held on the island of Lošinj today, where a handful of swimmers braved water temperatures of 13 degrees Celsius. The proceeds from the event will go to help 3 young locals awaiting operations and rehabilitation. The last Saturday of the year brought the aromas and tastes of Istra event to Pula. Various local foods were on offer at the city market. The featured dish was a frittata made from 2,018 eggs and some 40 kilograms of Istrian sausage, producing 1,000 portions for visitors.
The tradition of preparing frittata before the new year, which is at least 16 years old, is based on the fact that frittata is a very important dish in Istra, served for brunch and some other meals. Depending on the season, different things go into the frittata, such as mushrooms, wild asparagus, or other interesting items.
And taking a quick look at sports, in EBIL Hockey League action, Medveščak beat Austrian side Klagenfurt 3-2 in Zagreb tonight. Their next game is against the same team in Austria on Monday. This is the third consecutive win for new coach Doug Bradley. The Bears are currently 7th in the 12-team league. And now the forecast for tomorrow. Partly sunny throughout most of the country. The northern parts of the interior will see some increased cloud cover in the morning when there could be some light rain. Skies will begin to clear in the afternoon. Only the northern Adriatic and mountainous regions will see predominantly overcast skies with a chance of some light rain. There will be a moderate southwesterly in the interior, strong in mountainous regions. The coast will see a southeasterly, strong on the northern and central Adriatic, moderate in the south. Morning lows of -2 to +3 degrees Celsius inland, 3 to 9 on the coast, will give way to highs of 7 to 13 degrees. The 3-day forecast for the interior calls for relatively warm temperatures and rain on the first day of the new year. There is a chance of some sleet and snow at higher elevations in the evening. Colder on Tuesday with intermittent rain, snow in the mountains. Wednesday will see a short break in the precipitation until the evening. The coast will see variable weather with intermittent rain, heavy downpours in some places. Northeasterly winds will bring colder temperatures on Tuesday. More stable weather is expected on Wednesday. And that wraps up the news. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night.